praise of the Most High, Ahaya, Ba'ashem, and Shaya, Wawak. Blessed to be here once again, to be in front of you, brothers and sisters. Today's lesson is going to be on the Christ of war. A lot of times, we talk about Christ. We always talk about the good side of Christ. He operated the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, long suffering. For a few people to touch on the other side of Christ, that he was about war too. You see what's going on in the world, what's going on with the governments and what they plan to try to do against our people. If we go to the scriptures today, that Christ, when he come back the second time, the first time he came in peace, the second time he come for war. And let a few people touch on that side of Christ, that when he come back for vengeance. And so we're going to go to the scriptures today about that. So let's go to Psalms 37, verse 27. So there's much to be said about Yeshua, but few touch on the judgment that will come upon the earth when he returns. Many doctrines of today only focus on love and never give their congregations the serious parts of scriptures, which are also there in order to get us to change our ways before it's too late. Let's get more of a round view of Christ and his purpose beyond what you may have heard already. You will find that in order for this world to be set back in balance, there will need to be a change of ownership, and that will come with great struggle. The wicked are not looking to give up their rule, so who can change the course of this world? Let's examine what really happened, what happened when Christ returned, so that we can have a better understanding why the world has been programmed to hate and ridicule him so much. Because, now a lot of people don't even respect Christ nowadays. They'll say things he don't exist, or we shouldn't read the scriptures. A lot of people don't respect Christ. They lie to what he looked like. They lie to his doctrine. So, they don't respect him. But we're going to read scriptures on that today. So let's go to Psalms 37, verse 27.
All right, we're in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 27. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore.
So he said, depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. How you do good? Keeping his commandments, right? So he's warning you, depart from evil. Go ahead.
Verse 28. For the Lord loveth judgment.
See, he said, for the Lord what? Loveth judgment. He loved judgment. Okay, go ahead.
And forsaketh not his saints. Mm-hmm. They are preserved forever.
Now, who are the saints of the Most High? Israel. We go read that in the precepts. He didn't forsake his saints, but go ahead.
But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
So, but the seed of the wicked should be cut off. So hold that. Let's go to Psalms 148 and 14 to show who are the saints of the Most High. The saints of the Most High are Israel. Okay?
All right, we're in the book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel.
See that? I see that? Israel, read that part again?
He exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Okay.
A people near unto him.
See, a people near unto him. So who the saints of the Most High again? Let's get another precept. Let's go to Psalms 50 and 5. Everything got to be established 2 or 3 witnesses, right? So you're going to get another precept to also prove that the saints of the Most High is Israel. The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5.
All right, we're in the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
He said, those that made a covenant with through sacrifice. Who he made a covenant with through sacrifice? Israel, right? You see that? So we go back to Psalms 37. Now he said he didn't forsake his saints. So all these things they're doing against us, as far as killing our people through vaccination and everything, the Christ he didn't forget that. So that's why he said he's not going to forsake you. That's why he said vengeance is mine. He's going to destroy these wicked rulers that did all these things to our people. So all these things they did for the time we came off the boats up to now, what they did to our people, he didn't forget. He's recorded everything they're doing, and when he come back, he's going to judge these people that's done all these wicked things against us. Okay? All right, go to verse 29.
All right, we're in the book of Psalms 37, going to verse 29. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever.
So the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell there forever. How you become righteous? You keep the commandments, right? Give me Psalms 112 and 1. Let me show you that. How you become righteous. Give me Psalms 112 and 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 112, verse 1. Praise ye the Most High. Blessed is the man that feareth the Most High, that delighteth greatly in his commandments.
So how you fear the Most High? You keep his commandments, right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth.
See, if you keep his commandments, your seed be mighty upon the earth. Go ahead.
The generation of the upright shall be blessed.
See, in the generations of the upright be blessed. So you, like I said, I think it's said in the Apocrypha, when you keep the commandments, the Holy Spirit will dwell in you, and you teach your children, it will pass down to your children, to your children's children, when you keep the commandments. So your seed be blessed when you keep the commandments and teach your children the same thing. Your line be blessed. I keep going. Read the one more verse.
Sorry. Verse 3. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever.
See that? Your righteous endureth forever. The same we just read back in Psalm 37, right? The righteous shall inherit the land. So how shall I inherit the land? Keep the commandments. You see that? Let's go back to Psalm 37. Verse 30.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment.
See that? So the mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. But they tell you, don't judge me. Right? There's a difference between judging you, killing you, than correcting you. It's a difference. You see that? So if you're telling you about to commit adultery tomorrow, I'm going to tell you, no, don't do that. I'm going to correct you for that. You see that? I'm not going to sit there and let you say, oh, I'm just going to let God judge you. No, because I have a responsibility. If I don't, tell you you're doing something wrong, that's going to be on my ass. Right? Like it says in Ezekiel, we got to be the watchman. Right? Get that real quick. Ezekiel 3:17. Real quick to show that it's so important. We had to warn people, they're doing something wrong. Ezekiel 3:17.
All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
So look, he told Ezekiel, I made you a watchman. We all watchmen. Okay, no matter what position, we all supposed to be out here and warn people what's going to happen. Go ahead.
Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warnings from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way.
So you see somebody doing something wrong, you don't say nothing about it? We'll say what happened. Go ahead.
To save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
But the blood will be on your hands too, because you had the opportunity to tell them what's wrong. So even though they're going to die for that sin, and you knew they were doing something wrong, the blood will be on your hands too. You see that? Keep going.
Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
Right, because why? You told them, right? You warned them. Okay, go ahead.
Again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness, and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered.
See?
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
You see that? You see how serious it is? That's it?
Verse 21. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned.
See,
also,
because he is warned, right?
Thou shalt deliver thy soul.
See that? So you see why it's important to wake up our people and tell what's going on? We got to be out there, telling people the truth. No matter they're going to hate us or not, they're going to hate you. They hated Christ for telling the truth. So don't expect your family or your friends, your loved ones, they're going to be happy when you tell them they're doing something wrong. Okay? Now, let's get John 7:24 and see how Christ say how you judge. Okay? John 7:24.
All right, we're in the book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance.
So don't judge according to your appearance, but what?
But judge righteous judgment.
Judge righteous judgment according to the Most High. You see that? You keep the laws as your guide. Say, look, you're doing something wrong. You should not be doing this. According to the law, you should repent. Now, if you're not stoning people, we try to convert them. Brother, you need to repent from your sin. You need to ask the Most High to forgive you, and you need to, move on. You see that? One more scripture. Give me before we go to Jude. Before we go to Jude 1, give me Galatians 6:1. Galatians 6, and then we go to Jude. Because, I know a lot of times y'all do talk to people in the streets, but they always say, you can't judge me. You hear that a lot, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
All the time, right? Only God could judge me. And yeah, right. Do you want that? I'll warn you from the judge. Okay, you said that we go to the courthouse next week. Don't tell the judge on the stand. Sorry, judge, you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. See what happens when you do that in the courthouse. You go right to jail. Okay, 5 years, bam. Do you see that now? They see how you say that when you're in the jailhouse. Crazy. So we're gonna read Galatians 6:1.
All right. We're in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
It was meekness, humble. Now, it's a time to show tough love. Okay? We're going to read that. It's a time you guys show tough love to the brother and sister. It's a time to be meek. But you want to prefer to be meek first. But if the person keep doing it over again, all right, man, we had this conversation before. You keep doing the same thing over again. Okay? Go ahead.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Right, so you want to show some type of compassion because if we fall to the same sin, you want somebody to show compassion towards you. You see that? Go ahead.
Bear ye one another's burdens.
That's why it's so important to come together because we can bear one another's burdens. So if a person's struggling with something, all right, man, I need to check up with you. Let's hang out. I'm going to call you. Let's pray together so we make sure that you don't fall to that same sin. Okay, go ahead.
And so fulfill the law of Christ.
Okay, so y'all see that? You can stop right there. Let's go to Jude chapter 1. But everybody follow with that? So you're not judging me out there. You're correcting. There's a difference between correcting and judging. Judging is death. Okay, in the Old Testament, when they judge you, it was no repentance and you get stoned. I'm correcting you. Okay? So let's go to Jude chapter 1, verse 21. When Christ come back, that's it. So you might as well get it right now. They're going to be like, oh, Christ, I'm sorry. Give me another chance. No, that's it then. That's it. You had a question, sister? Quick question. All followers of Christ. So Gentiles, they part of this punishment too. They wicked, they get destroyed. And the Israelites are wicked, they get destroyed. Matter of fact, before you get to Jude, give me Psalms 5 and 4. Psalms 5 and 4. No, the way I said that, right? That was funny. Give me Psalms 5 and 4. Yeah.
Got you. Book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 4. For thou art not a power that have pleasure in wickedness.
So the Most High don't have pleasure in any type of wickedness. Go ahead.
Neither shall evil dwell with thee.
Mm-hmm.
The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
He said all workers of iniquity. He didn't discriminate. He said all, right? Don't matter if you're an Israelite or a Gentile. So that whole thing about he hates the sinner, not the sin, and all that kind of mess, that right there kills that doctrine right there. He hates all what?
All workers of iniquity.
All workers of iniquity. He hates the sinner and the sin. Both. Okay? So y'all see that? So it don't matter if you're a Jew or a Gentile, you're sinning, you get destroyed. We will get it first because you do better. And just think about this as a parent. I know you're a mother. If you got both of your sons acting up, who you could go to first? The oldest. Because the oldest do better. You should tell the younger brother to do the right thing. You were all right with us, so both of y'all get the butt whooping. But you getting it worse because you're the oldest. You should know better. Same with the Most High did with Israel. You see that? So we can't blame the Gentiles for something we did. You can't blame the belt because we failed. The Most High is using them as the belt. You see that? So you got to remember that, all right? So let's go to Jude chapter 1, verse 21.
While we turn it, just remind me of that verse, Hebrews 10:31. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living power.
Yep.
Say only God can judge me. That's not one you want.
You don't want that. You about to tell your brother that's on earth with you correct you. Then have the Most High. That's too late then.
All right, we're in the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 21. Keep yourselves in the love of the Most High.
So he said, keep yourselves in the love of the Most High. Go ahead.
Looking for the mercy of our Lord Yeshua Christ unto eternal life.
And that's what we all looking for. We're looking for that mercy. We're going for the Father. We hope that we all make it in. Most High willing, right? Go ahead.
And of some have compassion, making a difference.
Right. So we out there teaching some you have to show compassion, but what?
and others saved with fear.
And some you gotta save with fear. You gotta put the fear in these some people. Some people not gonna hear the compassionate part. Some you gotta say, look, you go follow his commandments, you gonna die. Straight up. So like I said, some you gotta show tough love, show them with compassion. Go ahead.
Pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh.
Even hate the garment on their flesh. That's how compassion should be. When you out there teaching. So some with compassion and some with tough love. You see that? All right, let's go to Isaiah 63. So when you minister, it's not one-dimensional. You know, everybody says, why y'all teach this way? Y'all don't teach love. It's been times when Christ would drop the hammer. You watch to see the scriptures. When he went to the temple and turned on the tables, that wasn't love. When they were selling sacrifices in the temple, and Christ came, they flipped the tables over. They were talking about that Christ. He was serious. He was compassionate sometimes. Sometimes he had to drop put his foot down. Like, look, y'all wicked up in here. You know, and he had to point everybody out, especially the Pharisees. But he was always trying to tempt them all the time. Sometimes he had to put them in their place. You gotta do this sometimes, but let the Holy Spirit guide you.
And as teachers, it's our responsibility to make sure we cover everybody's, because some people won't move like, oh yeah, I hear the love, I'm good with that then. And then some people won't move until you cracking whips, and talking about, look, this is how bad it is out there. You right now? You trying to get right? So you just got to be able to teach to the whole audience.
Exactly. And look at Israel. We don't learn.
Some of us don't straighten up until bombs is dropping and camps is being opened. Sometimes you got to hear that or see it. And when it starts happening, like, oh, let me straighten up.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that, but sadly, again, the Most High is teaching all his people.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're going to read Isaiah 63, how Christ's going to judge when he come back. What's going to happen? Isaiah 63.
All right, we're in Isaiah 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah?
So he said, who is come from Edom? Like this is Isaiah trying to say, who's come from Edom? Okay, who's Edomites today? The so-called white man, whatever, that's what they call them. Go ahead. The higher ups, the people deceased for Amalek and all of them, right? Keep going.
That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
So they say you see a person traveling in greatness in his strength. That sounds like who? Christ, right? Go ahead.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
So let's go to Obadiah chapter 1, just in case you're not sure who Edom is. Let's go to Obadiah chapter 1. The scriptures identify them by characteristics, who they are.
Got it? All right, we're in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Most High Power, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Okay.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
So it's about Edomites. They're very small among the heathen. You think about it. Israel is really big. You think you put all the 12 tribes together, compared to them, we outnumber them. And that's why they try to make sure that we don't populate, because, they don't want us to overtake them. But we think there's more of them than us, but not. Put all the 12 tribes together, they're in the minority. Okay? I was watching a video, Brother Jeff sent me a video yesterday. It was a brother, Edomite brother was talking to a reporter and said, look, we got to find a way to depopulate these African Americans and Hispanics because I don't want them to overpopulate us. He said it was an interview, it was out there. I can send y'all the video. He was saying it was a very publicized interview. He said, look, they outnumber us. We got to find a way to depopulate them because we're going to be in the minority in a couple of years. Recently, I can't remember his name, but it was a reporter was reporting them. And he said, look, we got to stop the Hispanics from populating. We got to stop the African Americans populating because we become the minority. And as a matter of fact, in Arizona, they feel like the whole debate with the northern tribes coming to the country. Now they got the Congress people up there in Arizona talking about, man, we got to find a way to stop them coming in because they overpopulate Arizona. Yep. They try to find ways to stop us growing. That's why they put stuff in our foods and sterilizing the children and adults, stuff like that, so we can't have children. Yeah, that they can say it bold in public now because they got Trump in office. Now they bold what they real agenda is, but it's out there. For now, but the Most High has a punishment for them. Okay, let's keep going over there.
I was thinking right what you're saying in Exodus chapter 1 verse 12. It says, the more they were afflicted, talking about the children of Israel, the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Sounds
and
familiar,
they were
right?
grieved because of the children of Israel.
Yep, exactly. Because they doing the same thing they was in Egypt. They said, you know what, we came in with 70 souls, and we overpopulated the area. So they doing the same thing again. They do the same tactics over and over.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yep.
Okay. I go back to
All right, back in Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 2 again. I'll read it 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
See, everybody hates them. Even other nations hate them. Wherever they go, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Are they prideful? They prideful everything. You make America great. We gonna be here forever, right? Pride, right? Nobody can take America down, right? Keep going.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
See, that tell you right there, give you a clue. They dwell in the cliffs of the rocks. They call themselves what? Caucasian. They come from the Caucasus Mountains of what? Georgia, Russia, right? Keep going.
Whose habitation is high.
Their habitation is high. That's why you see all these skyscrapers out here in the area, because they love being high in the air. Reminds the wind, was in the mountains. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Thus saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Who gonna bring us down? We strong. We got all the weaponry. Nobody can take us down. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Exalt thyself like what?
As the eagle.
Take a dollar bill out your pocket and look at it in the back. What is on the back? The eagle. You see that? Russia, what's the symbol? Eagle. Rome, eagle. Germany, eagle. You see that? It's a clue.
They can't help themselves.
Yeah.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
They up in space, up there, right? And they say, oh, we up there looking for Mars. Trying to find. No, you're not. They try to have a space program. They try to fight when Christ come back. All that space junk they got up in there. But the Most High going to destroy that space junk. Okay, go ahead.
Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High.
I'm going to bring him down to the ground. All this stuff you got up in the air, he's going to bring that down to the ground. All right, go ahead.
If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off?
Right.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
They had stolen enough. They can't take enough, right? They would have their cake and eat it too. They will take your neighborhood and take the neighborhood over here and over here. They would have their cake and eat it too. They can't just have enough. They got to take everything. That's how they do. Right? Go ahead.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. Well, at least they'll take all the grapes. They will leave you none. Right? That's what they'll do. Go ahead.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Mm-hmm. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Mm-hmm. They that eat the bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Mm-hmm. Right. Verse 8, Shall I not in that day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding of the mount of Esau? Mm-hmm. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end of every one of the mountain of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Mm-hmm. That's going to happen. Christ come back. He's going to slaughter them. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 10, For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover thee, and see,
thou. Why he destroying them? Because what? Violence against Jacob. Wait, all the way back then, right? When Jacob got the what? The promise, he was upset. Up to now, he's still upset about that. Because you got the promise, he didn't. He feel like you deceived him. That's why he upset at you, right? You see that? Go ahead.
Shame, Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. Mm-hmm. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother and the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction.
See, they rejoiced over us when he destroyed us. They was happy, right? He should have, right? Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
So y'all see that? So they getting destroyed because what they did to us, right? Now, is it for us to go out there to hate them for that? No. Vengeance is the Most High. Now, it's going to be a remnant of Esau that's going to make it. Not all of Esau. Most of the majority will get destroyed. But it's going to be a remnant that's going to be saved, that's going to follow Christ. Because in the kingdom, who's going to serve the kingdom? They are. They're going to have to. We got to teach them, right? It's like an Israelite serving other Israelites in the kingdom, right? So we got to teach them. We got to teach other nations the commandments, right? So let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 8 to show who's ruling at the end. So then we have a context of why the Most High why Christ has such strong anger against them, what he did to his people. Don't forget, Israel is the apple of the Most High's eye. So they were all other nations that did went against us. You see, we did with Pharaoh. You see, he did all the different nations that went against us.
All right. Everybody ready? We're in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So that tells you right there is a clue. Say Esau's going to be ruling at the end of the world, but Jacob's going to rule right after it. Who's ruling right now? Esau. That's how we know it'll be the last captivity. You see that? Esau's going to rule at the end of the world, and Jacob's going to rule right after that. Y'all see that? All right, so let's go back to Isaiah chapter 63, verse 2.
All right, we're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
So talk about Christ. Look, I see you coming down. Now you've red in your apparel. Go ahead.
And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat.
See, look like Christ, like you just been walking in the wine press, okay, in the wine vat, right? Go ahead.
I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people that were none of with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury.
So he's going to be highly upset when he comes back. He's not going to be all peace and love and head grease when he come back. He's going to be pain when he come back, right? Go ahead.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain.
See, that's that red. It's that blood sprinkled upon his garments, right? Because he came back. We're going to read it in Revelation. He could come back with the right garment, all white, but it's going to be sprinkled with blood for war. Go ahead.
And I will stain all my raiment.
So his whole raiment going to be stained with the blood. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
See that? He said, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see that? Go ahead.
And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
He's going to bring down their strength to the earth. So all this stuff they got up in space, they think they're going to be ready to shoot when Christ come back. He's going to bring the strength down to earth. Okay? All that space junk ain't going to do nothing to him. Okay? So let's go to Revelation chapter 11. So the Most High would have sent his arm, which is Christ, to free the world of the demonically charged governments which have destroyed his creation. Christ's garments will be stained with the blood of the wicked. That's what we just read. He is the only one who the Most High deemed worthy to lead the charge of his righteous army. So we're going to read in Revelation 19:11 more a precept in the New Testament. Because people say, oh, I don't like reading the Old Testament. It's all gory and stuff like that in the Old Testament. But we can read the New Testament the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in the New Testament.
We are in the book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war.
He do what? He judge and make war. Like I said, he coming back. It's not going to be, all hugs. It's going to be wartime. Go ahead.
Verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eye was what?
as a flame of fire.
Why Christ's eyes were a flame of fire? Because he liked to do what? Drink wine. You see that? So it's about Christ. We're going to read that. There, go ahead.
And on his head were many crowns.
Right.
And he had a name written that no man knew, but he himself.
So we going to come back the second time. You're going to have a different name, okay? We come back the second time. Go ahead.
And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High.
What it says he had many crowns because he's going to be destroying all the governments when he come back. You think Donald Trump will be ruling at the same time Christ going to be here? Got to be crazy. He's going to destroy all these governments when he come back. That's why he got these many crowns. He's going to destroy all the kingdoms. Go ahead.
Verse 14. The armies which were in heaven follow him upon white horses, cloth in fine linen, white and clean.
These are the dead that's in Christ that rise up. So the dead that rise up will be with him in fighting, and the angels. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations.
So not just only Esau, but all the nations too. Okay, we're going to read about the valley of Jehoshaphat and all that. The nations going to be trying to go against Christ. He's going to destroy all the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he shall tread up the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power.
You see the same thing read Isaiah 63. Yeah, I see that, right? The precept. Let's go to Genesis 49 and 10. So the true reason why they are putting weapons in space is for Christ and his armies. More and more nations are beginning this arms race in space in order to fight against those who will come upon the earth, which is Christ. All right, so let's go to Genesis 49 and 10. You said Revelation 13? Okay. Let's get that. Okay.
Revelations 19, verse 13.
Yeah, for Isaiah 63, right.
Yep. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
The same thing read Isaiah 63 when they said why his garments was dipped in, like he's in the wine press. Isaiah, Revelations 19 and 13 says right Isaiah 63. All right, exactly. Yep.
And his name is called the Word of the Most High.
Exactly. So he come back before his vested, like say the same word like because the same word as to his garment. Vesture, same word. Yep. So all right, we Isaiah 49 and 10.
You said Genesis.
I said Isaiah, I'm sorry. Genesis 49 and 10. I'm sorry. Genesis 49 and 10.
All right, we're in the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
So it's about what it said. The scepter is talking about the seat, the kingship seat. Okay, go ahead.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Which is Christ. He was a lawgiver, right? Go ahead.
Until Shiloh come.
We look up Shiloh in the strongest, peaceable one, which is Christ. Go ahead.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
Let's talk about Christ because he come back. He's going to gather everybody. Go ahead.
Binding his foal into the vine and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
See, they're prophesied by they way back in Genesis. Y'all see that? Genesis 49. We just read the Revelations and we just read Isaiah 63. Y'all see that? So now y'all understand. Y'all see that in the precept back then? Go ahead.
Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
That's why I said it. His eyes was red because what? He liked to drink wine. What was Christ's first miracle? Turn water to wine, right? They say he was a wine bibber, right? He loved wine. Go ahead.
And his teeth white with milk.
And his teeth white with milk. Y'all see that? So this talk about Christ right here in the Old Testament. Way back in Genesis in the beginning, under Moses. Y'all see that? Let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. That's show you the Old Testament, what Christ looked like. And we're going to show you the New Testament. Daniel 10, verse 5.
All right, we're in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Okay.
His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in the color of polished brass.
His arms feet like color of what?
Polished brass.
Who are you talking about? Christ. So y'all can show the Old Testament what Christ looked like, and you can show the New Testament look like. Y'all see that? He's talking about Christ. Go ahead.
And the voice of his multitude was like the voice of a multitude.
And the same thing you read, want to say his voice like what, many waters? We're going to read that? So I was going to show y'all that in Daniel. That's what the Revelations 1 to show you the New Testament what Christ looked like. Revelations 1. So Daniel saw the vision of Christ, okay? And he saw the vision of the Most High. He saw what the Most High looked. We're going to read that later, how the Most High looked. Revelations 1:1.
All right, we're in the book of Revelations. Chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yeshua Christ, which the Most High gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
That's about the John the Revelator. When they say the revelation of Yeshua Christ, what revelation mean? He revealed something, right? Revealed, right? Jump into verse 10.
Jump into verse 10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day,
Which is the Sabbath.
and heard behind me a great voice.
So he heard something. He turned around. Because a lot of people now, the Christians, what they try to do now, say, well, that's what he saw in Christ. That was spiritually what he saw. No, you see why he said he heard a voice and he turned around. So that means he saw something, right? Go ahead.
And heard behind me a great voice.
So you heard behind him a great voice. Now let's see what he saw. Let's jump into verse 14.
As of a trumpet.
Right.
Jump into verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his head and his hairs were white like wool. Who has woolly hair? We do, right? Go ahead.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
That why his eyes were the flame of fire again? Because he drank wine. You see that, right? Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet were like fine brass.
As if they burned in a furnace.
You burn brass in the furnace, what are you going to turn to? Black. You burn anything, turn black. Exactly. Anything you burn, turn black. You're right. Go ahead.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice is the sound of many waters. The same thing you read in Genesis, right? The same thing you read in Daniel about, right? You see that a voice of many waters, right? So what they tell you about Christ? He was a dark-skinned brother, right? So they're going to be sadly mistaken thinking that a white guy coming out the sky with blonde hair and blue eyes. They're going to be surprised when a brother come down look like Morgan Freeman coming down and destroying. They're going to be sadly mistaken.
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman? Right. Right. They're going to be sadly mistaken. So I just want to show y'all. Y'all see that in the Old Testament and the New Testament is prophesied by Christ. You see why the Old Testament is so important? But they tell you don't read it. You see that? It prophesied Christ throughout the whole book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right, exactly. Especially when we see all of y'all going up to see the dead. When Christ come down, y'all gonna be rising up with Christ, and y'all gonna be going to war. Yeah. Oh my goodness. These brothers, these sisters.
Which is crazy. Kind of points out the time frame where everybody getting videotaped, completely disrespecting people. The people.
Yeah.
Straight up with no respect. So. Yeah, it's gonna be a shock.
It's gonna be a shock, exactly. So I just want to show y'all that.
To say the least.
Yeah, I'm saying it's angels. All right, it's gonna be him and his angels. Everybody gonna be going to war. So it's gonna be a fearful sight to see, especially seeing us. Most High willing, we up there with Christ doing it, working, fighting. So that's.
Yeah, that's gonna be a severe humbling.
Yeah.
For those who are already there, they're going to be fine. But those who are far from it, they're going to have a tough time.
Right. We're going to read more about it throughout the lesson. So let's go to Isaiah 19:1.
We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Now you see that now because we left Egypt. Has Egypt been great since we left? It's desolate over there, right? It was only great when we was there, right? Go ahead.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
So you see the Egyptians against the Egyptians, that's the Most High doing that. Go ahead.
And they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor. city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
So you see, no government is safe. So when you see what's going over there in Egypt, this is a good chapter too. When you do talk to people that's Egyptologists, read this whole chapter as Isaiah 19. That's going on right now over there in Egypt, and it talks about here that Egypt became a base nation out of all nations because Egypt was great when we was there, right? When we left, it wasn't great anymore. Just like any other nation, we left and we stayed there and left. You know, Babylon, ancient Babylon, the Persians, just like here, that when we leave, that's why you'll see them say, "Oh, that's deport all the Negroes out of America." Because guess what? If they deport us out of here, this place is done. It's done. Yes, Ricardo?
I just want to ask you too, since this is spiritual Egypt, Sodom as well,
Right.
also spiritual Babylon. If you look at this, when he talks about them going against each other, the Egyptians against the Egyptians, the governments here are set up under that Egyptian system, which came from Babylon.
Right.
So wouldn't the people here, such as a civil war break out,
Yeah.
and we sitting back watching them, wouldn't that be considered Egyptian upon Egyptian?
This precept's right to Matthew 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where they are going against each other.
Mhm.
You understand? So this is also in the past Egypt, but what about the one where he said, I'm going to send you to Egypt again?
And
Right.
This Egypt is what Isaiah is seeing. They're going to destroy each other while we sit back twiddling our thumbs.
Yep. So that's why the Most High stirred up all these nations against each other. They're doing it right now. Exactly.
What video was we talking about when we said we saw, somebody was saying something, they saw some Arabs, they had came in and says, why y'all have an obelisk in the middle of your city? They just couldn't, like, it just doesn't make any sense. We know where that's from, but why is it here?
Right. If you look at your dollar bill, you see in the back of what?
Right
The
there.
pyramid, and you
Pyramid.
see the eagle.
They reminding you
So
over
like I
and
said,
over again.
spiritually, Sodom, Egypt. You know, a lot of sodomy here in the, in the States, and also Egypt because of the bondage.
This place is an epitome of every place we've been.
Yep. Exactly.
You want to know where you've been? Look at the architecture of the city.
Just go to DC, just look around. Just take a day, look at DC, just look around all the stuff.
Want to find Rome? You got Rome. It's called the.
Unfortunately, we live in it.
Yep, it's called the Lincoln Memorial. All right, or any other Greek or Roman-looking building on top of Egypt.
Yep.
Jefferson. Yep. All the
Exactly.
same. All the
Exactly.
same. So. Where
Sure.
Isaiah chapter 19 verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Yep.
He's saying he ride on a swift cloud. He's going to come into Egypt, and when he arrives into Egypt, all the idols of Egypt will be torn down. What we just say, the biggest one sits over where?
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right the mall, the bigger, that's the monument. That's the monument, exactly. Yep.
Yep. Oh, you remember the last time we had an earthquake in D.C., what happened?
Yeah.
That they had to shut it down,
cracked.
didn't they?
Remember, it cracked. Yeah.
Had to shut that boy down.
Yeah. They tried to fix. I think they fixed it, but they took a while to fix
That was just a
it.
preview.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was just a preview.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
One quick thing, I just go ahead. Something came to me when you was talking about every nation that has possessed us, right?
Right. Yeah.
So in that movie, if you haven't seen the Trolls, there was a key thing that was said. If y'all ain't seen the movie, it's a little kids movie about the Trolls. We already know it's black people,
Yeah.
right? They singing and dancing, so on and so forth. But they talk about us. We ain't seen the movie, right? There was something that was said by the head little troll lady that stuck with me. Like it said, she said that he who controls the trolls controls the kingdom.
Wow.
Check that movie out. There's so many subs and these little kids movies. They don't make
The funny part about it, you see their hair? Like who else got hair like that? High five. Who's that? High top afros basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Trolls.
That's interesting.
Look, big eyes, wide noses.
So for the people that didn't hear, he was saying
All
that in
praise
the
the Most
movie.
High for sight, man. All praise the Most High for sight.
Yeah. He was saying for the movie The Trolls that whoever controls the lady said whoever controls the trolls controls what?
Mm-hmm.
The kingdom. That's what he was
And that's
saying.
been said by many people who possessed this. You know?
Yep.
Through our fall comes the riches of the Gentiles.
Yep,
Says
exactly.
those Romans.
Exactly. One more question, what? We be Matthew 24 about nation against
Yeah.
nation. With
We read it
Christ.
last week in the lesson too, so it's basically parallel to this.
Yeah, You know, it's about nation against nation, everything else. So it's not only just Egypt,
Kingdom against kingdom.
but here too. You know, about because like you said, there's this disappearance of Egypt and everything else in here in Babylon.
Yep.
The Most High going to destroy it. Okay, it's cool. We keep going.
All right, I'm going to finish up. And it says, shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm.
See where we talked about the hearts when he appears, that their heart was going to melt for fear.
Yeah.
Precept said that their hearts, the hearts of Egypt, shall melt in the presence of it. Same thing.
Yeah.
His hearts, when they behold it, they gonna melt. Their heart gonna melt. That means heart attack right on the spot. He done.
Yeah, that's an aim of somebody, yeah, because their heart going to melt. The nation's going to be so scared when he come back. All the nations.
Yeah, but
So-
just to finish off with verse
Wait, you
2,
finish
and
two,
I will
me too.
set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That's why we said earlier, when you see them fighting against each other, you know, this prophecy, just let it happen.
Hey,
It's a
look, I
reason why.
seen a brother on the corner being called an N-word by somebody who was in San Francisco, and to his defense was one of them. He said, look, why are you acting like that to them? And they started fighting. So you got one against us, but to the rescue was somebody of that nation said, no, you're not going to treat them like that. So you see that every day now. Yep.
So just know that the Most High stirring is all up on purpose.
Yes, it is.
Stirring it
Don't
up.
get caught up in the hype that you're
Exactly.
seeing out here on social media. Don't get caught up in the divisiveness they're trying to do. Don't
Exactly.
let the Most High work.
It's
Let him
all
work.
for a reason.
It's all it's for you and the people of the book, and also well as all of the people that are following Christ, Gentile or not.
Yep. Just keep his commandments, follow Christ, do all this. Most High will you make it through this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 30.
We're in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Like we said earlier, rarely, it's be astonishment when he come on the earth, right? Go ahead.
Verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
And what realm against us? So all this confusion going on, all this fighting, Christ come right in the midst of that. You see that? That's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
The flesh versus the spirit there.
Exactly. It's a one realm, so spirit world, it's all going to be going on at the same
Seeing
time.
all these things kick up now, all the craziness that's been happening is because the spiritual realm is allowed to flood through a little bit lower. Because people have been given the authority through sin.
Yep.
Verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared,
Then Christ going to be declared. Go ahead.
whom thou sawest as a man descending.
Mm-hmm.
And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another.
Mm-hmm.
And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and be overcome him by fighting.
So they're going to stop fighting each other, turn around, see him, and go try to fight against Christ. What kind of craziness is that? Do something, madness, right? So you see that? If we're going to be more about that, with the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? That's, so you see right here the precept to that. Go ahead.
Verse 35. But he shall stand on the top of the Mount Zion.
And where's Mount Zion? Israel, right? Go ahead.
And Zion shall come, and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations.
See those wicked inventions of those nations. So you see that? So all the different inventions they making, super soldiers and all these different technology, all different weapons they go fight against Christ. He's going to rebuke those wicked inventions.
Not gonna matter.
Probably snap his finger, get blown up or something. If you see some of these movies, you kind of see like in the way how things going to happen. We show these movies, but it's nothing they could do. They try to stop Christ. They going to try everything in the book. He's going to destroy everything. Like, go ahead.
Which for their wicked life are fallen into tempest.
Now, it's funny because I mentioned about the super soldiers. If you can look it up yourself, look at Wikipedia, they are building soldiers, and they saying that for way for them to operate, they got to do paranoid activity to make them operate, right? Which means what? They're going to have spirits need place to what? To hold it to, right? they gonna try to put spirits in these soldiers because the regular people not gonna fight. So they gonna put spirits in these soldiers to fight. They call super soldiers. Look it up on Wikipedia.
Yep.
The machines. They create some type of machine, and they say they gonna try to use some type of paranoid activity to keep them running. Put spirits in these soldiers, these machine soldiers. To
There's
fight.
there's some wild movies out there. If y'all haven't checked, there's some wild movies out there that allude to these things. About that, it's Avatar. There's another one I saw. I was telling one of the brothers about it recently, but basically something cracked the sky and they got scared and they started sending probes into it and started losing. It was like something, maybe like a portal opened, and they were sending like satellites and stuff into it, and they were losing it, and they sent like real people into it, and they were losing them and couldn't get in contact with them. Apparently, they started realizing they had to create a body. Then take a person who basically is super smart but might have like a kind of limitation or disability in their body, and basically murder them and take their brain and put it into a robot. Therefore, the soul inhabited a robot, and these things basically didn't have any pain, anything. They just obeyed commands, but also had like human intellect. So they're really, if they can think about it in their imaginations, which that movie was, think about what they're actually doing.
When y'all see stuff in these movies, this is the stuff they be thinking about doing. It's not nothing just. Nobody's not that smart to think of something like this stuff in these movies. These are demonic channeling for them to make these movies like this.
Mm-hmm. They were calling it Human 2.0. That's what they called them.
Yep.
Humans 2.0.
You know what's interesting about that? How, remember in Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
Anything people think to do,
Yep.
Imagination.
They imagine of their hearts. Yep.
Exactly.
That's where we are. That's where we are, man. They feel like they don't have any limitations. And what I'm just slowly seeing is that they pretty much fear death here. So they try to stay here as long as they can. Not just this earth, this existence. They just want to stay here. Because they know that if they pass on, they got to face them. So they say, look, if we can hold it fast here, if we start turning off, Hebrews or Israelites and say that, like, look, push them back to their God, they're going to realize they can't do that either. They're going to have to, like, look, we can't provoke them. Let's start making them comfortable. And what I'm starting to see is the economy, the way it's being built now, is built, even though it may be failing at some time soon, who knows? But they're building it so that people who had money before are starting to have more money. And people who didn't have money before are starting to have money. And then the poor people, which are the people of the Most High, they're starting to get split off, slowly but surely. They say, look, let's get rid of them completely, and we'll just deal with this sect here. Because they can't get rid of all of it, so they got to split us up some kind of way. They could send some to college, and then they say, look, we basically promoting you to our side. And they'll split you off from your people. And that's their work. That's how they've been working, split off our people.
Because now it's no such thing as middle class anymore. It's only rich and poor.
Yep.
Matter of fact, in California, I know I saw the article, if you make $100K a year, that's poverty in California.
Yep.
$100K in LA.
Like
that's
San
poverty.
Francisco too crazy. Apparently they got like the highest rent in the nation.
Yep.
People making like $180,000 living in their car.
Yep. So don't be surprised to have it here. DC is expensive. You see what's going on with DC? They're building up DC.
Yep.
Make it so expensive.
That's happening everywhere.
You got a studio apartment for like $3,000 a month. Studio apartment. It ain't Chocolate City no more. It's milk chocolate now. They moved us out of there.
So you seen this writing on the wall here, I know we laugh and joke, but
yeah,
it's they building up for stuff. They really have. You can see it all in everything they're doing. Like the fact that who would have imagined ever we would have had a Space Force? Who would imagine they would have ever needed that? Right. That stuff for video games, all you gamers out there, all you movie watchers, that stuff that you thought about, look, that got to be after I pass on. No, this is about to happen now.
He said it live on TV, but it been had this.
It been had this just the public announcement of 30 to 40 years of work when they basically established it enough. And I mean, what, China, the Dragon, again, having laser guns now, that's straight out of Star Wars. Straight out of movies. So they are preparing.
Look, don't forget, 20 years ago, you used to watch Star Wars. They had video phones, right? Mm-hmm. And look at you now. You can just talk on your phone, video phone. Like nothing, FaceTime and everything else. All this, all kind of stuff. So don't think this stuff, these movies, you think just something they just put on TV. Stuff they really think about doing.
Speaking of that, I was watching on CNN. They have a series on CNN called The 90s, right?
Right.
So on that series, they said that in 1969, the Pentagon developed the internet.
and they kept
Yep.
it to the back, right? So it wasn't a way to put everybody together. So as the years progress, you see like more death, more recent bombings, so forth and so on, which lets me know that this internet is here only so that the powers that be can spy on us.
Exactly. What they call it, the brother,
It's a
he
web.
said that they
We
had
talked
the
about last week.
World
It's a
Wide
web.
Web. What they about the spider web? What they do? Catch you.
Catch.
That's
Yep.
why when you put everything you put online is recorded.
Yep. And if
Trust
they already
me,
see
and I
you
tell
as,
people, I do orders on people,
Yep.
and I go online, I can see what's on your Facebook, even if you still did 10 years ago. I can see it on there. Your Black Planet, what other places you have, I can look that stuff up. I can go there and find out. So when you put stuff on deleted, it's still on there.
Yep, they don't go nowhere.
That's why I tell people, be careful what you put on social media. Don't put all your stuff on social media because it's being tracked. Even now with the government now, when you get your passport, they're going to look at your social media and see, is he anti-government? Or you're not getting the passport because you're anti-government. So you can't even travel. That's why I tell brothers, be careful what you post.
Yep.
Or what you looking at online. Try to make it so, I mean, if you do look at stuff by the church, try to mix it up, switch it up. Because when you do look at you, okay, he do watch Israelite videos, but he watch sports too, and he do this.
Balance.
You try to bounce around. Look, you try to make yourself look normal as possible. I'm telling y'all what's going on. I'm telling y'all what's real.
When the scripture tell you
gotta be wise as
you're the
serpents.
hidden
I'm telling y'all
ones.
what's real.
Be wise as serpent, right? When they telling you the hidden ones, yeah, you want to be as hidden as long as possible here. And to your point, brother, you were saying like, hey, the internet was around in the 60s. Yeah, people in the military that I know that are older than me and my family said that they had flat screen TVs on ships.
Yep.
Back in the 70s. Flat screen. We just got flat screen 10 years ago. 10, 15 years ago. Bro, there's videos of people on smartphones and like Mike Tyson fights. Like what were they doing?
Yeah.
And you right there, I mean, talking about like, the time, that stuff is, you won't think, and you're not thinking because you don't recognize it. But you look back at some of these old videos, there's a lot of tech just shown right in front of plain sight. Because folks, they like, follow the money. You go to a Mike Tyson fight, you see in the crowd, somebody got a big old phone. Like, what? This is like 93, 92. Sitting right out there in the desert near where all their special technologies and all their underground bases are. They've been doing this for a long time. So again, don't use your eyes to get fooled by this. This is, if they showing you because they got something better in their eyes. So that's why we got to stay prayed up with the Father.
Exactly.
In Christ.
Exactly. You got to be wise on how you operate.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Christ was wise then. It was times when people wanted to kill him right then and there. What'd he do? He was like, all right, I got to go.
Get out of here. You know what I mean? So
when they wanted to pull up on him to kill him, he disappeared. It'd be like that.
Yep. Exactly. What more? Go ahead, Brother Rob. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. He's
not for everybody.
Not for everybody. Exactly. When Christ spoke in parables, even the disciples asked, "Why you speaking in parables?" It went for them to get.
Yeah. Somebody in that crowd heard it. The disciples heard it, but somebody in that crowd picked it out. That's the discernment.
Yep. So, I'll keep going.
That's a good way to determine, like, if you're giving somebody the gospel, don't be so direct sometimes. Sometimes you have to be a little incognito with it so you can even feel their spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Test their spirit to see if they're receptive to it. And that's all the time. That's how I do to figure out, okay, this person might be worth investing a little more time. This one here, they laughing.
Don't cast those pearls before swine.
Exactly. You gotta be like Paul said. I gotta be all days, all men. So you guys sometimes you gotta stoop to the lowest level when you talk to your people.
And if you're only one man, you think how much time you wasting on somebody who don't want it. You already planted the seed once. He said you admonish him one, you give him once, you give him twice. But he said what? What he's telling the disciples, keep on moving. There's more work to do.
The harvest is great, but what?
Laborers are few. Bro.
Exactly. They don't want to just keep.
You ever try to water a rock?
Yeah, water a rock and see how long that.
Exactly. See how much plants you got of that.
Yeah. Just think about that. You out there planting seeds. Okay, think about that.
Plant on good ground.
Exactly. I keep going.
So we're in what? We're in second Esdras.
Yeah, second Esdras reads that verse. 37.
37. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
Okay.
And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire.
Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 in the Bible. So you see right here, the nations at that time should forget about their fighting against one another and will attempt to fight Christ and his army, which is crazy. Their old wickedness will allow them to abide in the fire, which Christ shall bring forth to destroy the lawlessness. All their newly advanced weapons they created will be as nothing, as we said. So let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. A lot of people say, man, I don't like that type of Christ, man. That's too angry. But they'll say that, but watch 300. Or watch the other movies that's got gory in it, but they don't want to hear about this. Start watching those movies then.
See, what can't you watch today that doesn't have anything to do with the Bible? Because it all comes from somewhere. It all's coming from somewhere. They don't even realize it. They're making all these things up, don't realize they're talking about the Bible.
Exactly.
No matter how far-fetched it is. It always speaks back to it. All right, we're in Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season.
So everything there is a season. Go ahead.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right.
A time to be born. A time to die.
So it's time to born and a time to die. Go ahead.
A time to plant. And a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Okay.
A time to kill.
See, a time to kill. Go ahead.
And a time to heal. A time to break down. And a time to build up.
So you see that? So there is even a time for killing. Y'all see that right? In order to protect the innocent, and Christ will do so upon his return. He is who seek out the vengeance of the righteous who have been destroyed. Our job is to fish the people so they can follow the Father, and the hunters will come to deal with the wicked. So we got to, while this is going on, we got to be out there preaching the gospel to our lost brothers and sisters out there. Because this is the perfect time to do it, because now you see what's going on with the administration, and you see that the nations are against us. Perfect time to bring it out, because people are waking up now. They see that, okay, America's not as great as I thought it was. I see what it really is. I thought we was progressing because I got my government job and I got a nice place in the suburbs. And no, they don't want you in the area, because who you move in the area, they move out, right? Or try to force you out. So we are, that I tell people all the time, us being segregated was the best thing that happened. Us coming together was the worst thing that ever happened to us. We should have stayed separated. The Most High said he made us be above all people. Why we ask for equal rights? Give me Deuteronomy 76 real quick. What the Most High say, Israel? Supposed to be above what? Why we ask the man, we should be equal like you. They be sitting the same toilet as you. They be drink the same for the water fountain as you, master. Yeah.
How can someone else give equality?
Exactly. Exactly. We should have stayed separated among us. And we was better that way. Think about the 60s when we was together. We was more conscious.
Families was right.
Families was together. The fathers in the household, the mothers in the household, we was all together.
Neighborhoods was right.
Neighborhood was right.
If your
Look,
mom
the
was
whole
at-
neighborhood take care of the children.
If your mom was at work and you was acting out,
You got a butt whooping
You
till the mom
getting
got home.
and then your mom gave him the boat.
And he got butt whooping again when your mom got home.
Yep.
Yep, Black Wall Street, exactly.
And it seemed like that happened all the way up to like about the real early 80s, and then the end.
The crack
Yep.
epidemic, when Ronald Reagan put the crack in the hood, that was it.
Because I'm thinking like the 60s, but even in my childhood, I remember like I couldn't do nothing on my street either. Because everybody was watching. Miss Jenkins looking, Mr. Johnson cutting his grass watching me. I can't be acting out.
They started putting cracks in the 70s.
It's 70s, during the
Yeah,
funk era.
It was
exactly.
a slow
It
crawl.
was slow.
But I'm talking about in
Period.
certain areas, you still had that resemblance of what the 60s had.
Exactly.
And then it all went down.
When they put the drugs in, that was it.
That
That was
80s,
it.
that 80s and down generation, like that last generation, that really had a resemblance.
And
of
today, I don't know what they're doing
normalcy.
today. They doing all kind of stuff today.
Pray for them.
Yeah, we gotta pray about
Pray
brothers.
for
That's
them
why
and-
it's so important for us
Spread it.
to push this truth and show our brothers back to Christ. Because right now, it's all about satanic worship now. Even in the music now, it's all about satanic worship. We got the young people worshiping Satan.
And they'll shout you down with one voice, too, just like the Most High said. They just doing it on Satan's side, though.
Right.
So we're at Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
No, equal to all people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So why we asking to be in the same restaurants, though? If we didn't know then, like I said, we know now. I said we were lost, but now we know. We were lost, but that was by design. Then to tell you, you're African American, you're black, and this and that. So you want to know who you are, find who you are. Exactly. Exactly. Get that. Give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. That's what Mikado just said. Even if he not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. Ecclesiastes. Exactly. Exactly. And that's why the Bible is so important, because we would wait for the Bible. If you'd have read that scripture, if Martin Luther King had read that scripture, they would have been marching. Okay, all right, y'all will be separate. All right, we're going to be separate over here. Exactly. That's true, too. Yeah. That's true. At the end, he said, I felt like I had to go to a burn the house.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes
7:7.
7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Okay, that's another one I wanted though.
Another one, okay.
But that's good one though. But that's
Yeah.
read that again though. That is Proverbs. That's what it is. Proverbs
Okay.
31. But
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So it does. Oppression does make you mad. It does. Okay. But we know that the reason why we in this condition is what? We fail. Right? Go ahead.
The second half, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
See, the gift destroyed the heart. Let's get Proverbs 3:31. That's the one I want about envy not the oppressor.
All right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Go by what just Brother Ricardo brought out. Said, envy not the oppressor, but what?
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways, But like I said, we will destroy for a lack of knowledge during that time. Even though our people was doing it during the time subconsciously, they had the right mindset until we try to, want to be like them. But we should have been separate, But like I said, at the time, we didn't know who we were. We were lost at that time. Mm-hmm. But now he's waking us up. And now we come back as a nation, we got to come together and work as a nation. And that's the part they hate. That's why they try to destroy the credibility of the Bible now. They wasn't reading no more. They put all different, they put the different religions in our neighborhoods, Islam, Christianity, all the different religions, so you won't go back to your book. Because if you follow this Bible, you follow this book, come back to the Most High, everything will be destroyed. So that's what they don't want. So let's go to Jeremiah 16:15.
All right, we're in Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands which he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Who's the land? Talk about he's going to gather us back, right? Go ahead.
Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Most High, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes.
So all the people that try to run away and try to run, they're not going to hide from him. Okay, go ahead.
The first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin doubled, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things.
And you see what's going over there in Israel. They had defiled their land. You see what's going over there in Israel right now. They had the biggest gay pride ever over there in Israel. Biggest one. Abomination, right? Do all kind of stuff over there in Israel. If you do your research, what kind of stuff they're doing, all kind of witchcraft and dark magic over there in Israel, destroying the land. And most times he's going to be angry. And Christ's going to be angry when he come back. He's angry now. He's angry now. He's stirring things up, and he's angry now. He's moving out the way. Just bring us back to the land. Exactly. So your tax dollars going to them.
So you see the circle there.
Exactly.
We're propping that land up from afar.
Yep.
The funny thing is over there in Israel, those people who were doing that call themselves Israel. Saudi Arabia and all those people want to bomb them, thinking that they're bombing us, but they're bombing themselves.
They know.
They know they're the apostles. They know.
They're keeping the ruse going right now. That's it. But yeah, that spirit is starting to creep up.
And like what we read earlier, let that happen. It's for a reason. Let them fight each other.
Yep.
Don't get caught up in that. Just let that happen. Okay, the both sides are working. All right, I know his Christ coming back soon. When you see all stuff, they fight each other and bomb each other. That's why we get caught up in the news when you see them bomb each other over there. Okay, I'm like, all right, time is ticking. I need to get myself right. Most times, Christ about to come back soon. So, all right, let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 22, verse 34.
All right, we're in the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 34. And he said, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day. Before that thou shalt thrice deny that thou knowest me. Verse 35. And he said unto them, when I sent you without purse and script and shoes, lack ye anything? And they said nothing.
Said nothing, right?
Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that have no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
So it's okay to have protection, okay? You see right here. You can sell it and have protection, but not you have protection to go out there to provoke people. You can protect yourselves. If you're wondering if you can have a weapon, you can have a weapon. You see right here. Say, go ahead and get a sword, all right? To protect yourself, protect your family. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 37. For I say unto you, that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end. Verse 38. And they said, Lord, behold, here are two swords.
So he said, look, here are two swords. What did he say?
And he said unto them, it is enough.
It's enough. So can you protect yourself? Yes. Okay. You see that? If you go read the scriptures, Christ is a man of war. We're going to read that later. He's all about war. Let's go to Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Romans 12 and 17.
All right, we're in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 17.
I was in that scripture, but I want to go ahead too to kind of hit home.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
See, recompense no man evil for evil. Go ahead.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
If you provide things honest in all sight of men, we won't have these problems, right? Go ahead.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
See, if it's possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men, okay? Don't be going around trying to cause the strife and division, okay? We should be loving each other as we love ourselves, right? Being like Christ. Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay.
Vengeance is who?
Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Most High.
Don't forget the vengeance is the Lord. So whoever that does things towards you, read 20, verse 20.
Verse 20. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his own head.
It's going to be fires on their head. Because you being Christ-like and they being evil towards you. How many times for people, some of y'all out here, I did good to people, and then bad things happen to the other person that did wrong against you. You had nothing to do with it. You find out, oh man, that's what's going on, brother in the hospital or whatever, something happened to him.
Yep.
Something bad happened to him. And they were nasty towards you. Don't forget, everything is recorded. So, like I said, you heap coals of fire on their head. You come in the spirit of Christ, and they come in the spirit of Satan. Don't forget, you are the child of the Most High. When you keep His commandments, He gonna protect you. He gonna remove your enemies from you. You gotta lay a finger.
This right here should tell you that, look, you shouldn't even hold grudges because somebody else is keeping tally for you.
Yeah.
And it's your muscle. You're not the muscle.
Don't forget the ages of record. Okay, he's been this. So all right. All right. You see that? Because that's why I said don't let the sun go down a wrath for your heart. Because that's getting recorded in the heavens. Yeah, he was acting that. He told his brother he did this, he did that. You see that? That's why you got to be careful. That makes sense?
Finish out.
You finish out.
Verse 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
See that? But overcome evil with good. And I know sometimes it can be difficult. Somebody push your button. But you got to remember, what would Christ do? The situation. All right? So let's go to Matthew 10 to 32.
All right. We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven.
So we got to be a living example of Christ, confess, and don't be ashamed. Say you follow Christ, okay? You got to confess before men. Go ahead.
Verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
We all don't want that. Go ahead.
Verse 34. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth.
See, everybody think he came to send peace on earth, but what?
I have come not to send peace, but a sword.
See, they'll read this part about Christ. You see that? He said, I came not to send peace, but what? A sword. Go ahead.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
And that's what's going on. I mean, some of y'all dealing with these things right now, your families. Some of y'all not, praise the Most High. If you are buried in the truth and you got a husband, a wife, and your children, all y'all together, some people are going through the household with the husband and the truth and the wife not, or the wife and the truth and the husband not, or in the household where they try to teach their parents and the mom and dad hate you. Some people dealing with that. Okay, go ahead.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
See that? The man's supposed to be of the household. Go ahead.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
You see that? Because who comes first before your wife or your husband? God the Most High. Then your family. He's first, right? Not saying you don't love your family, but who's the one that put your family together? It was him, right? Go ahead.
Verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
Okay, let's go to Joel chapter 3. So the road set forth by Yeshua was a far tougher one. He even stated that there will be a sharp division even in the households we just read. That division usually comes through the truth which Christ was teaching. The standardized Christianity of today really doesn't cause divisions in the family. However, the truth, no matter how you break it, it still may cause division. Because we was all follow the Christianity, everybody loves you. But now when you follow the truth, everybody hates you. You see that, right? Even with Christ, when he was teaching, his own people didn't receive him. So Christ said, when you follow him, you can go through the same things he went through. But guess what? You got a big family right here. You don't lose, you actually gain, really. Because these your brothers and sisters in Christ right here. That's with you. They go through the same things you go through, and that's why it's so important to stay in contact with one another, pray with one another, have fellowships for hanging out with one another. Like, it was a blessing last week. We was out there fishing. It was a blessing being around amongst the brothers, Not think about the care in this world, just being around righteous brothers, fishing, hanging out. Think of the Most High, and guess what? The Most High made a way that all of us caught fish. Mm-hmm. Nobody walked out there empty. The Most High made a way that all of us at least caught one or two, and we have Ripper that caught 33. Mm. Brother Yuwanathan caught 33 fishes, and the Most High made a way that all of us were able to walk out there not empty-handed. Nope. And we was all in the spirit of love and unity and being among each other. It was a blessing, So somebody needed that last week. Yeah. Somebody needed to be amongst the brother last week. They probably was going through it, so I'm glad that I came. Mm-hmm. I was going through it. Those things will help you through the walk, just being amongst each other, hanging out. Cause it's so, being in this world, it could be burdensome, being out there amongst the world and society and your workplace. You can't talk about the scriptures with certain people in your household or in the workplace or, your friends. They're going to run from you. You can do that here, but outside of here, you really can't do it. A lot of people can't, So that's the things people had to go through in this walk. So let's go to Joel chapter 3, verse 9.
All right, we're in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
You see that? You see he's all about war. Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Mm-hmm. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So who stirred all this up? We read in Joel. The Most High is. He stirred up the heathen to fight against another. Don't forget, everybody on this earth is doing the Most High's will, even Satan. So the Most High is control of everything. You just got to remember that. Go ahead.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
So he's going to have all the heathen in one area, the valley of Jehoshaphat, and they're going to be fighting each other. He's going to judge them all there. Go ahead.
Put ye in the sickle, from the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision.
That's what's called the valley of decision. Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
So it's going to be dark because who's going to be that light? Christ. Because when Christ was made, he was that light, right? He's that only light because the angels, don't forget, the stars and the moon is what? Are angels. And when they turn back, they're going to turn back to their form. And the only person they're going to see is Christ coming down. Y'all see that? Everybody going to see it. Go ahead.
Verse 16. The Most High also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people, and the strength of the children of Israel.
So why he destroying these people? Because of Israel. You see that? Be the hope for his people. That's what we all looking for. The Most High to redeem us from our enemies, right? Y'all see that? Let's go to Amos 5. So the time of the end will be a real deliverance of the righteous with power. Question is, are we living righteous? Too many say that they can't wait for Christ to return, but do they really think they're ready? It will be a fearful day for those who have rejected righteousness and chosen iniquity. So we're going to read that in Amos 5 and 18.
All right, we're in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
I can't wait till Shai come back.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Why? What?
To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
That's going to be darkness. Can you say for sure that you're going to make it to the kingdom? Can any of us say for sure tomorrow when Christ come back that we sure got a key in? None of us. So that's why each day we wake up is more grace and mercy to get it right. Right? So we just got to take that. Don't take that for granted and say, okay, I got one more day to get it right. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on a wall, and a serpent bit him.
That's a bad deal, right? See, go to this. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
So let's go to Joel chapter 2. So you got to be careful what you wish for. Ever wonder why this scripture was never really read in the Main Street churches? They have in a delusional state waiting to be raptured. And most people even concerned about purifying themselves. Oh, we're going to get raptured. We got to worry about going through this. No. It says it's better for you to be here while everything is going on than be taught, be so-called raptured.
For he who endure unto the
He
end.
who endure to the end should be saved, right? So let's go to Joel chapter 2.
All right, we're in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet of Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
It is so key because every time we go to war, what happens? We always blow the trumpet, right? Israel, right? Go ahead.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is near at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness.
So I want y'all to imagine that. That's going to be going on during that time. A day of darkness and of gloominess, and a day of clouds and thick darkness. Go ahead.
As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing should escape them. Go ahead.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they should not be wounded.
So that's why. Can you imagine that? You fall with the sword, you're not getting wounded. You fighting on this time. That's up to us, right? For people that's going to make it. Go ahead.
They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their lightning, their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
His camp will be very great. If we all of us would be part of that camp. Go ahead.
For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it? Therefore also now saith the Lord, Turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning.
So we got to turn our hearts, to the Most High with all our heart, and with fasting, and with weeping and mourning. Go ahead.
And rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your power. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil.
He is slow to anger, because look how long he's given us now to wake up. So by the time he comes back, he can say, look, I gave you all this time to get right, and you took it for granted. Or you did take it for granted. You followed my commandments. So as we got breath in our bodies, as we continue to walk every day, we cannot take it for granted, because tomorrow was never promised, right? So let's go to Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. So fasting and prayer, along with separating ourselves from the confusion of this world, is what matters. Becoming more in tune on what the Most High wants for our lives is what will matter when the great judgment is upon us and his mighty army arrives to free the oppressed. Because we want to be part of that army. So we want to be part of the army of Christ come back. So we had to deal with those things getting destroyed. Because he not only destroyed other nations, also other Israelites too. That's wicked. So let's go to Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. Very small book.
Yep, it's in again, we were over there by Joel and Amos and Hosea. Micah. It's right after Micah. All right, everybody good? We're in the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 3. The Most High is slow to anger and great in power.
Like I said, again, he is slow to anger, great in power.
And will not at all acquit the wicked. The Most High has his way. In the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him.
So he know the ones that trust in him. See that? So if you trust in him and keep his commandments, even though all this is going on, you will be protected. That's why I said before we got to make sure our election is sure by continuing to walk like Christ and keep his commandments. So we won't get caught up in that great day of gloom and get caught up when people get slain. Okay, so he know who is his. Okay, he gonna protect out of all the chaos. The ones that's following him, he's gonna protect you. Go ahead.
But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies.
Okay, let's go to Exodus chapter 15. So you see, look, he's slow to anger, and he's giving us time. I mean, the Most High in Christ is the definition of long suffering. I mean, think about just the children of Israel as a whole. Think about all this wickedness that's going on right now. just put yourself in the Most High's shoes. You see all this going on right now. You know what? Tomorrow I'm destroying everything. But the Most High not thinking that way. He said, look, I'm going to give them time to get it right. So they cannot say I wasn't righteous in judgment. I gave you so much time to get it right, and you choose to continue to follow wickedness. So nobody will have an excuse in the day of judgment. We go to Exodus 15:1.
All right, we're in the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Most High, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Most High, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. And the Most High is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my power, and I will prepare him a habitation. My Father's power, I will exalt him. The Most High is a man of war.
The Most High is what?
And Most High is a man of war.
You see that? He's a man of war. That's he loved the war. Go ahead.
The Lord is his name.
Okay.
Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts have he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea.
Y'all saw what he did with Pharaoh and his captains. Go ahead.
The depths have covered them. They sank unto the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, have dashed in pieces the enemy.
So the Most High is no stranger to war. And with Yeshua, just like in the past, he would judge the wicked governments that are in the height of their pride. Okay, let's go to Amos chapter 9.
All right. We're in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 1. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away.
So the ones that run away, he's like they're going to flee away. Go ahead.
And he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig unto hell, thence shall mine hand take them through. Though they climb up into heaven, thence will I bring them down.
So no matter they try to be up in the sky or under the earth, he still will get them. Go ahead.
And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence.
Because you know they got like bunkers and all kinds of that. They're going to just hide from the Most High. No. He's going to get them wherever they at. Go ahead.
And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. And the Lord power of hosts is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up, wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned, as by the flood of Egypt. It is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and have founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Saith the Most High. Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Kir? Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth.
So he's going to destroy this single kingdom from the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Saving that I have not utterly destroyed the house of Jacob, saith the Most High.
Thank the Most High for that. He's not going to utterly destroy us. He's going to save us through this. Okay, the ones that's in Christ. Go ahead.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all the
So
nations,
he's going to sift us. While all this going, he's going to sift us among the nations. Go ahead.
like as corn is sifted in the sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
See, all the sinners of his people should die by the sword. If you're sinning, if you're not keeping the commandments, those ones are going to die. Okay? So all the Israel not going to be saved. All the ones that's in Christ, that's following, is going to be saved. Go ahead.
Which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
What that sound like? Pride, right? Go ahead.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Right, because the tabernacle of David was fallen, it was split into two kingdoms. But he's going to bring them back together. Go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it up as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen, which are called by my name.
See that? So these are the heathen, the other nations, Edom and the other nations, they are called by his name. And he's going to select two, right? Go ahead.
Saith the Most High that doeth this.
Right.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land which I have given them, saith the Most High thy
So
power.
you see, he said it's the last captivity. So you see, we read in verse 9 and 10, the sinners of his people is going to be destroyed, and all the sinners of the Gentiles be destroyed, but it's going to be a remnant. It's not going to be a remnant of Israel's going to make it. It's going to be a remnant of Gentiles going to make it. Give me Isaiah 14:1. Get another precept on that. So we're not teaching us to go against other nations. We just tell what's going to happen. If we're going to read about, I got you, sister. I see you. Give me 1 second. We go to Isaiah 14:1.
All right, we're in the book.
Precept to Amos 9.
We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them.
The same day how we left Egypt, right? The strangers we join amongst us. Go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids.
See, the key word is what? Servants. Do you see slaves in there? Servants and handmaids. There are rules how to treat a servant, right? We talked about earlier. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
You see that? So it's going to divulge good reverse, but if we're going to do it in righteousness, we're not going to treat them how they treat us. You see that? So there's rules how to treat a servant. So I just want to show you the precept. We read it Amos 9. Everybody see that? All right. So that's what was scripture we give Matthew 24. Say do it today 24:13. Give me Matthew 24, verse 13.
All right. We are in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So we got to remember that we out here. We got to endure to the end. Remember with these scriptures you read today about Christ, that he's coming back for war. We will make sure that our election is sure, that we still follow him, keep his commandments, and that's continuing to keep walking like Christ, and Most High willing, we able to make it in. Shalom.
Shalom.